Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to the Eric Deters Show. We're sponsored by Deters Consulting Company, Parks Yoga, and check us out on all of our platforms. Well, the top story today, this is unbelievable. Trans Day of Vengeance? What? Stop trans genocide. Where has there been trans genocide? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. This is unbelievable. Can you imagine if we called it Mega Day of Vengeance? I mean, white male Day of Vengeance, and posted pictures like this? I mean, it's unbelievable. Oh, I got a question. For all those that are against automatic rifles, AR-15s and whatnot, are they speaking out against this picture? Truly amazing. This is going to happen this weekend in Washington, D.C. In Kentucky, they're apparently going to have they're going to act like they died in the Capitol. I wonder if Andy will go out and lay down next to them. Andy Bashir, lay down next to him, act like he's dead too. This is nuts. All on the heels of a transgender killing kids, and the head of a school, and a teacher, and a custodian. Sick stuff. Trump is now up to 50% in a Republican primary, and he's increased his lead on DeSantis. He's up 30%. You know what? DeSantis has got to, I mean, if they're smart, he doesn't do it. He doesn't pull the trigger. He'll go right off the cliff like the rest of them. But we'll see what happens. I'm Trump all the way. Grand jury in New York City is now done until April 24th. You know what? It's obviously falling apart. Bragg wants it to get out of the news. Bragg wants it to die a slow death now. It's unbelievable. There are some reports that there might be as many as 200 more banks that are in bad shape, like Silicon Valley Bank. Here we go again. We bailed these corporate people. I tell you what, I stand with the people of America, the hard-working people of America. We get screwed over and over again by the American Communist End. Corporate America, by the government, by everybody. We're not the leftists. We are the people that work hard. We pay our taxes. We have small businesses, medium businesses. We're workers. We're employees. And we get the shaft by everybody, the media, everybody. It's unbelievable. Summit for Democracy. What? They're holding a summit for democracy. Joe Biden will lead the way. What a joke. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Oh, I got one more add on. Elon Musk has passed up Obama as the most Twittered guy. Obama's popularity, I'll never get it. All right. Coming up next, Bulldog TV local news. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, welcome to Bulldog TV local news, where we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga, and check us out on all of our platforms. Well, the top story is opening day. Cincinnati Reds opening day. And you know what? I should have worn my Cincinnati Reds regalia. But you know what? I'm not going to the game. It's going to be a beautiful day. I got too much going on. It's going to be a great day for Reds baseball. It's a great tradition in our town. Hope springs eternal. You know, here we go. Young team. Maybe they'll all play great. But I'm not hopeful. Somebody asked me yesterday, will we be worse or better than last year? And I think it's going to be worse. Todd Frazier's going to throw out the first pitch. You got to like that. Hunter Green will be our starter. At least we got a good pitcher going today. But we'll see what a great day for the opening day, though. You know, sometimes we've had snow, rain. Beautiful day today. For all of you that are going, have a great time. I'll be watching it on television and working. Law of crime. 19-year-old Jordan Spain will stand trial as an adult for a 2018 murder committed in Fairfield Township. Spain shot and killed Sidney Garcia Tover while he was just 14 years old. Spain was arrested in September, but was indicted as an adult Wednesday. Ashley Janine Riles has been indicted on 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter and 4 counts of endangering children. The mother of 4 is connected to an apartment fire in Westchester in September of 2022. Her 4 children were rescued, but 2 later died. Yeesh. Riles claims she left to check the mail when the fire broke out. Cincinnati fire crews battled a large barge Wednesday afternoon on the Ohio River. The barge was just east of 5400 River Road when reports started to come in about the blaze. A shelter in place was issued for surrounding residents as the fire and heavy black smoke continued. In Kentucky state news, the Kentucky legislature has voted to override Governor Beshear's veto on the transgender youth bill. Senate Bill 150 will go into effect in late June. The bill addressed transgender issues like bathroom rules and pronouns that don't match a student's gender. Kentucky has an epidemic of overdoses plaguing the state. About 6 Kentuckians die every day from overdose. House Bill 248 went into law Friday and will address accountability in sober living homes and addiction recovery houses. The new legislation will now require certifications, establish regulations, and allow facility inspections. A bill became law yesterday in Kentucky, making the state a Second Amendment sanctuary. The bill went into effect by default. The governor did not sign the bill. In Ohio State news, Governor DeWine has proposed a plan adding $338 million in funding for more resource officers in Ohio. Some groups are concerned that hiring the officer won't benefit every district and that the budget should be flexible. We'll see. Ohio announced new legislation Tuesday that could abolish the death penalty in the state. The state's last execution was in July of 2018. Ohio currently has 134 people on death row. And the Reds have added a tribute. Cincinnati Reds Hall of Famer Tom Browning, who recently passed away, his number 32 jersey's been added to the left field wall in Great American Ballpark. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Coming up next, James Spindley and World News.
Hello, you're watching Bulldog TV World News, the latest headlines. 4 bankers who allowed a friend of President Putin to deposit large amounts of cash into Swiss banks has been found guilty of lacking due diligence. Mr. Rollo Gin reportedly paid $30 million between 2014 to 2016. What a scandal. An eyewitness captured footage of a steep mountain in Nokanehok, 2 hours from Bangkok, ablaze last night. It is believed that the fire started from sparks by thunderstrikes. At least 28 people have been killed and around 230 rescued after a passenger ferry caught fire in the Philippines. The fire began in the ship's air-conditioned cabins Wednesday night, but it is still unclear how it started. Amongst the dead were 3 children and a 6-month-old baby. A number of people believed to have been killed after 2 U.S. Army helicopters crashed in Kentucky. It happened in the Trigg County area close to Fort Campbell military base. The 2 Black Hawk helicopters had crashed during a routine training mission. The incident is under investigation. Until tomorrow, have a brilliant day. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury Bulldog Nation, welcome to the 3rd, 4th, we don't know, we're losing count, episode of the Bulldog Sports with Eric and Nick. We're just 2 average Joes rapping about sports. And of course, let's get right to it. By the way, did you have a good week, Nick?
Great week, yes. Good.
I see you're sporting your Cleveland Indians. Bulldog Mafia today. All right, the NCAA tournament. Do you believe this? Florida Atlantic has made it to the Final Four. You believe that? Florida Atlantic.
Right. And who beat Creighton today?
San Diego State.
Yeah,
but here's the Final Four. You got Florida Atlantic playing Connecticut, and you have San Diego State playing Miami. Not a bunch of blue bloods, except Connecticut used to be good. Let me tell you something about the tournament, which I just find just very interesting, is these teams that are in the finals, these Final Four, I've watched them play, they're scrappy. They're athletic. They get after it.
Right.
And what I think is these blue blood teams, like Kentucky's Exhibit A, you don't see the same fire from them like you do these other teams in the tournament. where it's like they expect you put the Kentucky uniform on, you walk out there, and you're supposed to win because you're a higher recruit.
Or Duke or Arizona or UCLA.
Kansas.
But what I think, and I've been reading about this, the portal transfer, the transfer portal, whatever,
is making things more even.
the NIL, right. Miami's paying a guy $800,000 to come there through this NIL. Totally legal. But yeah, I think that's making everything more equal.
You know, the SEC, UK used to win it like automatically. The SEC now has better coaching, better recruiting. I mean, more and more players. But our top team, Alabama 1 seed, gone.
I thought they were
Houston, gone.
Yeah. I thought Alabama would take it. They are a tough team, a scrappy team. They're a tough team, but yeah.
Xavier went down hard, but they weren't expected to get there, I don't think. And with Sean Miller coming back, I mean, I think the future's bright for Xavier.
Yeah, he did a good job.
All right. Let's talk World Baseball Classic. Did you watch the final game? I think it was Sunday night after we were on air, wasn't it?
Yep.
All right. It was Cuba versus the United States.
No.
What a game.
Japan,
excuse me. I take that back. All right, Japan. What'd you think of the game?
I hated it. It was awful. We lost.
We killed Cuba. You know what? Let's talk about the main thing of the Classic. First off, I can't believe we lost the game. I could not believe with that firepower. However, we have some of our best players who still aren't on that team. But when I look at that lineup at the top, I'm like, oh my God, this is an all-star lineup. How do you lose?
To an island that's no bigger than, what, California?
Right. But then Betts hits into a double play. Mookie, he's automatic. He hits in a double play. And you can't script it. Ohtani pitching to Trout, last out, and he strikes him out and their teammates.
They wanted that. And he's never swung and struck out 3 times at a bat in his whole career.
Well, no, I understand it's been like only like 26 times out of like 4,000 or 5,000 bats where he swung 3 times.
Okay.
I mean, it is like
and how do you,
rare as hell.
You're right.
But see, Trout, I don't know. Maybe Trout's not for the big stage. He never makes the playoffs. Maybe he's content playing baseball up until September. But I thought it was great. Now, some other news. It's sports related. There's a lot of talk. Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen maybe reuniting. What do you think about that, Nick? What do you think should sports fans support this or not? I say yes. I want to see them reunited.
Well, yeah, sports fans.
Peaches and Herbs reunited. It feels so good.
The best thing I read about this was she didn't cheat on, or he hadn't cheated on her, so she'll take him back. When she's running around with her
jiu-jitsu man.
Right. So he didn't cheat on her, so it's all good.
Well, maybe they just needed a break.
I guess.
There's also, let's talk about this, because this is kind of a guy show. We're kind of a politically incorrect show. No offense to you ladies, but if you're a lady watching this, you probably think like us guys. There's a famous poster. You can just put whatever beautiful woman you want on the poster. Josh brought this up. Anyways, so there's a beautiful woman, and underneath the caption is, some man somewhere is sick and tired of her.
Correct.
So just because she's beautiful doesn't mean that she's a handful.
I've been saying this my whole life. Tommy Lee was sick of Pamela Anderson, and at the time, she was the hottest woman on the planet. So
yeah, and he got tired of her. Poor women, I tell you right now. All right, opening day Reds, Thursday. We play the Pirates. Where does Cleveland play?
We play the Mariners at 10 o'clock at night in Seattle.
Oh,
for
God.
4 games. I can't watch any of the games. I'll be in bed.
That's awful. Hunter Green, who throws 100 miles per hour, is going to be pitching for the Reds. I'm not going to the game. I'm back into baseball, though. But I don't know if I'm back into the Reds. These other teams are more fun to watch. The Reds, I just don't know how the Reds. I think the Reds are going to be worse than they were last year. I don't know how the Reds can't be worse than last year because they have, their players. The quality of their players is less.
Right. Well,
they got rid of all their best players.
They're all going to the model of the Indians that did a couple years ago. Less bashers, faster players, base to base, stealing, bunting, good defense. They made the bases bigger, so that's what the MLB wants, I guess.
And you can't do shift anymore.
Right.
Which means there's going to be more hits.
It's going to be interesting, yeah.
Some of those shifts are crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you're a right-handed batter or you're a left-handed batter, and like there's nobody over there. It's like you can't punch the ball over there.
I mean, yeah, what the hell, man?
It's crazy.
I've been saying that for years. I mean,
all right. There's 3 top quarterbacks that had a pro day this past week. Bryce Young in Alabama, your man,
C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud in Ohio, and Levitz in Kentucky.
Right.
You're the Carolina Panthers. Who you picking?
Well, if it was based on pro day, Levitz did a great job, but I'm picking Stroud, man. I'm telling you, I told you that a couple weeks ago. He's going to get the number 1 pick.
I understand from those so-called experts, the Stroud is the best pick to pick.
Right.
But I go with the Bama guy because he's a winner. See, I think it's that it factor. And I think these Bama quarterbacks have a more of an it factor than your Ohio State quarterbacks. Based on recent history.
Yeah, true.
Based on recent history.
Jalen Hurts, he's a winner. I think he's an outlier, though, because McCarron, he's in the XFL. He won today. I watched it a lot.
Let's talk a little bit more about the NFL. The NFL, I think it's April 26th is the draft. It's always fun. I love watching the draft.
Yeah.
You know, the NFL keeps it all alive. Like everybody, all of us that like our teams, you like the Browns, I like the Cowboys, the Bengals. It's almost like they immediately get you thinking towards next year.
Yeah.
As soon as the Super Bowl's over, boy, they suck us back in for next year.
Right.
Okay. So what do you think? Right now, just so you know, Aaron Rodgers is still a Packer. Lamar Jackson is still a Raven.
He'll stay there. He's got to stay there. But as far as a draft, I don't care. I've got no picks. We traded our last pick.
Cleveland traded their other picks.
We got a receiver yesterday from Seattle, so we have no picks.
You know what? I can tell. This is just my opinion. You really ought to build your team through the draft, and the reason why is by building your team through the draft, you get these young players. And you get a 4-year contract. So if you draft well, you get a great player.
That's
for
the model.
4 years.
Right.
You know,
take up the 5th year off.
By the way, Seattle is doing a great job on the draft.
They hit in their draft.
They're hitting draft. And then you can plug in a free agent here and there.
Right.
But I think the draft's the way to go.
Don't build your team around it. Like the
Cowboys, for example, have made their team better. It's been through good drafting.
Right. Well, when they were dominant, the triplets, they were all drafted.
Yes, all drafted. All right, the NBA, the Lakers.
Back in it, baby.
They were back in it, but today LeBron James comes back after 13 games, and they lose to the Bulls at home.
Did he play?
He played.
Oh, my Lord. Did you hear what he said about the foot thing?
No.
2 doctors told him to get surgery on the foot, and they asked him why he did, and he said, because I went to the LeBron James of doctors, foot doctors. And meaning himself, because that's how narcissistic he is.
Well, you got to admire the guy. He wants to play and get him into the playoffs again.
Win with him, my Lord.
But they were winning without him.
Right, that's what they can't win with him.
The chemistry might be messed up with LeBron James.
They won all 3 of their games this week, so they're in the 7th spot.
Dallas Mavericks are spiraling.
Yeah.
Not doing good. Okay, FC Cincinnati keeps winning. Are you following this at all?
No.
Does Cleveland have a soccer team?
Not anymore.
Oh, my goodness.
MSL.
Wow.
Never had an MSL team.
Rick Pitino got a new job at the St. John's. I love it. Rick Pitino is my favorite college basketball coach.
I think he was mine, too.
I wish he'd come back to Kentucky like Sean Miller at Xavier. But maybe St. John's is the beginning.
I don't think he'll come to Kentucky.
You watch St. John's. You know what he did?
They'll go
the first thing he announced, he goes, most of our players aren't going to be with us. I mean, he basically told, "Hey, get out of here." It's like only the captain.
Sanders thing.
It's like only he did it. He Deion Sanders' team. He Deion Sanders' team. Like I don't think you're going to fit. I mean, that's good. All right, this I found very interesting. This Saturday. Now I used to go to this when it was the Spiral Stakes. Jim Beam Steak.
Jim Beam, yeah.
Okay, I used to go to it. And what's really weird about this is this wasn't in the news. I follow the news. It wasn't in the news at all that this Saturday was the Jeff Ruby Stakes out at Turfway Park.
Great marketing for that.
And but I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was
local news.
They didn't promote. They didn't promote it at all. I never heard of it. So my cousin Josh, who went, tells me it was awful. He says the food, the vending, everything.
Right.
He goes, Eric, he was cussing.
I used to
He was
love
cussing
that
in his
event.
texts at me. He goes, Eric, it was awful. I said, Josh, I didn't even know about it. Of course, I would have went to Western Kentucky anyway this weekend on my campaign trail. But anyway, the Jeff Ruby Stakes, 2 fills was the winner, paid $764. But this event is falling.
Yeah,
I mean, it
used
is
to go every year
falling.
with Jim Beamsteak. What was it before that? It was
Something furniture, a furniture
No,
company. I thought it was a furniture
I think
company.
it was Jim Beamsteak. It was,
But
great. It was a great event. There was thousands of people
right.
there.
It was
Free
Spiral
concert
Stakes,
to the-
Jim Beam. Yeah.
To the Derby.
The Derby, right. But it's fallen. But anyway.
Let it in.
All right, is there anything else in sports that our outline does not have in it that you want to talk
My
about?
Lady Buckeyes are in the Elite Eight. They beat.
That's right. I was going to bring that up.
Right, well, you did.
Your Ohio, God, I forgot it. Good job. Your Ohio State Buckeyes have something to root for. The women beat Connecticut. And by the way, that ends like the Connecticut's like streak forever.
Yeah, 20.
Once again, I think the women is more competitive because of everything. South Carolina's the new Connecticut.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I mean, so I think it just, you get good players spread out. It's probably good for college basketball.
It probably is. It's the new way, man. More,
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, American Jerry Bulldog Nation, we'll see you next week. Hopefully there's a lot of good sports that happen this week. If not, we'll make something up.
Good night.
Good show, Nick.
All right.